Okay, go ahead.
Or start again?
Yeah. Okay, so we have the
Well, I think it could
licenses.
by 10 p.m., but if it's a business, they know they have to wait till the next day.
No, I'm saying was it 10 by 10?
Okay, yeah.
One day,
It's flowing.
and the next day is by 10 p.m. It always is by 10 p.m. for Wednesday's progress.
Yeah, we're filling up.
But what I'm saying is, if it's said by 10 p.m. the first day, it should be understood it might be coming the second day. Like, I would interpret it as well. Because we close at 5. So usually when they say 10 p.m., like, I do get coffee.
Can't see it on the video. But, you know, it's filling the tank. Oh, here we go. We can see the level rising. Oh, there it is. Right. It's this stupid autofocus thing that. Right, so the tank's full. We could actually start that cooling process at the same time we start the valve, just to get a slight head start. It's really just like, what, 2 minutes difference.
It might not make a big difference, to be honest.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Chill tank's at 23, and we have it set just at 22.
So it's almost it's getting there. There you go. It's off.
It's off. The Peltier is off?
Yeah, see? The middle, the relay in the middle is off.
Right, but the chill tank temperature is still...
Yeah, it's still high because it has more volume. This is an empty tank.
Oh, that!
Yeah.
That one down there, the process.
Yeah, the process tank is
Okay,
off.
right, yes.
We have a...
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
It's cool, and that relay
So
in the middle...
the process cooling is coming on even though the tank's empty.
Yeah, to avoid a shock.
The shock when you...
shock.
Exactly, right. Awesome.
So it's getting ready for product.
Yeah. So you can see the circulation pump is running. Or rather the stirrer is running.
Time, but I'm just gonna get there.
Yeah, it's dancing. Probably within a half a degree. Okay, so now it's 22 steady. Okay, so it's round off. And you've got the code cut off at 22 exactly.
22 exactly.
Right.
So as soon as we hit 22, it will do the proper.
Right.
But,
so
right
we're rounding up or rounding down on the
22.6,
screen.
22.4.
Okay.
Do you want me to put the decimal
Okay,
place?
so we're just truncating them. No, don't put the decimal place in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 22 means we're at least 22
Yeah, I just
on
did
the screen.
truncation.
Yeah. That's fine.
To be honest, just because I couldn't find a round function in here, so
This is fine.
instead of building a function,
Yep.
22.4, it's almost there. It's getting there. Maybe 30 more seconds. 32.2. Almost. Point 3. One. Okay, almost.
There you go. Okay, so we're transferring the chilled lysis solution to the process tank.
So for the demo, you just set the lysis tank to half a second.
Half a second.
Half a minute.
Half a minute, yeah,
Half a minute,
30
30
seconds.
seconds.
Right. So once we're done with the sequence, this is gonna go on for...
It's trying to compensate the little raise on the temperature. It's not dilating.
You've got 2 minutes on the tank to ensure that the 2 minutes on a pump to ensure that the tank's empty. Okay, so we're almost done. Just counting down to 2 minutes. Last few dribbles of the lysis solution. We're entering the process tank. The chill tank's empty, and we're waiting for that timer to count down.
2 minutes. It's almost done.
You can see the display shows that we're in station 1, which was the lysis preparation. Now we're in step 2, which is the lysis treatment. So this is the dwell time for the lysis solution in the process tank. And
in the meantime,
we're filling the DI water in the cooling tank. Okay, so in this case we're going to have to wait again for the tank to fill before it stops.
And we are
After 30 seconds of lysis, we're emptying the lysis tank, or the process tank. And that pump is just simply dumping to a wastewater collection outside of the machine. Okay, that pump's also going to run for 2 minutes to ensure that the tank is empty. In the meantime, the DI water is filling the tank
and it's cooling down.
And cooling down to the process temperature. Okay, so we're on stage 2, lysis treatment. We're at the end of stage 2, actually.
End of stage 2.
So we're waiting for the process tank to be emptied and for the DI water to get down to the process temperature of 22 degrees. So whichever of these two happens last is going to trigger the next stage.
Event. This is an abnormal cycle because usually lysis takes 1 to 2 hours.
Right.
So by the time the lysis is done, the temperature on the level of
Would
the
have
tank.
been.
But
very
anyway, the
easy.
machine knows that it has to wait for the right conditions to do the next step.
Okay, we're starting to suck air
Yeah, it's done.
okay,
And now we're waiting.
for the temperature.
We are ready for the distilled water wash. Getting ready.
You can see actual values there, right? Where are we?
22.7. 26. It takes some time. If you want, we can set it to 23, so you can see how it's done. But go to setup, and here the shield tank temperature is set it to 2300, and we're transferring the process. We're ready then.
Awesome. So we're transferring DI water after the lysis process is ended to the process tank. So we're on stage 3, distilled water wash. Okay, this pump's on a timer to make sure that we drain the tank completely. So we have to wait for that 2-minute time. Okay, it looks like the tank's empty. Pumps are going to continue, or the pump is going to continue until the timer is timed out. This is the peristaltic pump that's draining the cool tank, and there's a similar pump down back there underneath for the process tank. Okay, the tank's full. So now we're going through the time required for the distilled water wash.
At the same time,
And we're also filling with the electrophoresis fluid into the tank, the cool tank. That's going to cool electrophoresis down to the set point temperature.
which is
And then it's going to hold until the distilled water wash is done, and that was just 30 seconds. So now the pump is emptying the process tank. So once we've evacuated the distilled water, if the chill tank is at temperature, which it is, we'll just transfer the electrophoresis fluid to the process. So we're at the right temperature, and the cooling system has shut itself off to maintain that temperature. now we're waiting for the process tank to be evacuated. It's like narrating golf. And he lines up the shot. Okay, here we go. We're transferring electrophoresis.
And getting ready for the unwind.
Right, the unwinding, that's a dwell time, soak time rather, before the current, electrophoresis current is turned on. So we're in the unwinding stage right now.
That's the total progress.
The blue, right,
Blue one.
and the green.
The current
Stage.
step process. That it hasn't started yet because we're transferring.
Okay.
So we're getting ready.
Yep.
It hasn't started yet. The timer is not running. As soon as we finish, you will see the green bar for that specific step.
So waiting for the pump timer to time out. You can see we've transferred the fluid. It's essentially empty. It probably is going to go on for 30 seconds longer than it needs to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but in the overall scheme of things, it's not going to make much difference.
No.
Over a 23-hour process.
Yeah. It's nothing.
Okay, so when that pump stops, that's when the unwinding process begins. There we go. And process there. And then we have it in just for 30 seconds for testing.
And in the meantime, the seaboard is complete.
So we're filling the tank with DI water. But in this case we won't, the cooler is not going to come on because we're done with needing
And now
water at
we are
4 degrees Celsius.
electrophoresis.
So the unwinding timer is timed out, so now we're in the electrophoresis stage. So at this point we're applying the voltage. Electrophoresis timer is timed out, and we're dumping the process fluid to the drain, and the DI water is filling the cool tank. You can see the level. After this is done, we will fill the process tank with the neutralization fluid. As soon as the process dump pump, the timer is stopped. So neutralization fluid will come directly from its holding tank into the process tank. It's not going to go through the chill tank. Okay, so now the neutralization fluid is coming from its holding tank directly into the process tank. And that's going to continue until the level sensor on the process tank tells it to stop. Okay, so neutralization is in process and the neutralization timer is just set for 30 seconds. So at the end of that, we will turn on the process dump pump and empty the tank. So this is sort of a status bar of all the sensors, the two temperature sensors, and the outputs that go to the DI water lysis, electrophoresis, neutralization, and staining holding tanks, the valves that drain the fluid from each tank. And then these two are the pumps. You can see the process tank pump is on right now. The chill tank pump is off. It's just holding the fluid in there until we're ready to do another DI wash after the neutralization fluid is removed from the process tank. So that's another 2-minute wait. So there are 3 inlets to the process tank. The one in the middle is coming from the cooling tank. The one on the right that you saw earlier, this is for the neutralization fluid. And then the one on the left over here is coming from the staining fluid holding tank.
At this point the cooling is not running anymore.
Right.
Cooling is off.
Okay, now we've got the distilled water wash coming in post neutralization. And that's bringing in ambient temperature distilled water into the process tank. Now this also helps warm everything up back up to ambient temperature for the staining process. So once the tank is full, and the DI water is coming from the cooling tank, so that's going to take 2 minutes of that pump running. And once that's done, we'll go through the drying process, which is just simply a dwell time with an empty tank. That normally would take 3 hours. We've got the timer set at 30 seconds, just so we can step on to the next stage. So here we see this, the blue bar is the progress of the entire process, and then the bar on the top would be individual processes where timers are used. We'll see the progress of that particular timer counting down. So the distilled water is being transferred from the cooling tank to the process tank. And once that pump stops, we'll go through a DI wash, 30 seconds, and then we'll drain the process tank. So here we are, step 6, distilled water wash. So now we're draining the process tank. And when that's done, we would start the drying process, which for these test purposes is only going to be 30 seconds. As opposed to 3 hours. Okay, following this will be the optional rehydration process. So we don't have it on the screen yet, but there's going to be a button that the user can decide whether or not they want to go through the rehydration process before staining, or just, you know, go right into the staining process. Okay, so we're looking at the process tank being emptied. And then we'll see the progress bar for the drying stage. So we're just looking at the tank, but during the actual process there would be a cover for the tank. Okay, so at this stage the drying timer is active, and at the end of that drying process rehydration will take place. So we're transferring DI water again to the process tank. DI water is almost completely transferred. You just have to wait for that timer to run out.
Go.
So this is the rehydration process timer, which would normally be 20 minutes. We have it set for 30 seconds for testing. Once this is done, we'll drain the process tank. Okay, so we're emptying the rehydration fluid, then we'll fill the process tank with the staining fluid and start the staining process. And when that's happening, we'll also fill the cool tank with DI water so that we can wash the staining off when it's done. So we're at the end of rehydration. We're emptying the process tank right now. Okay, so we're transferring staining fluid now to the process tank. So once that tank is full, staining process normally would take 20 minutes, but we have it at 30 seconds. So at this point, we're also filling the tank with DI water to be used after the staining process is done. Filling the cool tank with DI water. Okay, so now we're dumping the process tank, dumping the staining water out of the staining fluid out of the process tank. And at the end of that, we'll transfer DI water to rinse the staining fluid.
Check that empty.
Having to top off fluid, we started with less than a full tank of DI water. With the beaker. So, let's fill it manually. We ran out of DI water, so we're going to fill that.
We're ready for the water wash. What is it?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I fill it up in the top.
Oh, never mind. Little panic there. Yeah, I thought we were already on that step.
No, I fill it up in the top and we're
Right.
full and ready
Ready to go.
to continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, excellent. Yeah, we're still emptying the stain. So we're at the end of the staining process. So now we're transferring DI water to the process tank. Actually, not DI water, but distilled water. Or is it DI water? Whatever.
Yeah, it's distilled water.
Yeah. Whatever they're going to use in the real thing. Alright, so distilled water wash. Alright. So again, since that's being transferred by a pump, that's going to be controlled by a timer. So that will continue until
2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So the wash would normally take 20 to 30 minutes. We've got it down to 30 seconds, again, just to move things along. So it'll start once the transfer pump shuts down. Go, and there's the timer. Okay, so that's the last distilled water wash. And as you can see from the blue progress bar, we're almost at the end of the Comet assay process. Okay, so once that timer times out, we'll start dumping the water. So this is the last stage. Once this is done, the drying timer is going to come on. So that means it's just going to sit there for 3 hours before concluding the overall process. starting to suck air. So now we've entered the final drying phase, which would normally be 3 hours. We've got it set for 30 seconds. All tanks are empty at this point. Go. Process complete. Okay, that's it. So we may add a status window or an alarm or something, but system works right now.